And the question, David, that a lot of people are asking this morning, and clearly you see that the bears are having their way just a little bit with Tesla shares, is whether or not demand is leveling off for Tesla vehicles. And that's because there are some who are saying they probably could have delivered more vehicles if there was greater demand. There was nothing indicating that they were falling short or having problems when it comes to delivering vehicles.
I want to be clear, there is not a demand problem. Okay. It's absolutely not. Sales have far exceeded production, and production's been pretty good.
There's a lot of focus on consensus. What I'd like people to focus on is that they delivered 97,000 units in the third quarter and 95,300 units in the second quarter. So that's not a big sequential bump, and that's really what caused me to say, hey, I'm not absolutely sure that the demand is going to support them getting to that range they put out there.
I've been reading in the headlines that Tesla missed their estimates, that Tesla missed. It is embarrassing how poor the coverage is from a financial and business and strategic perspective in the financial media. I mean, companies do not miss estimates. Analysts miss reality. I do not know how to make that more clear. I never care what the analyst thinks. Some analyst, Wall Street, who's trying to make an Excel model to please his boss so that his boss is happy so he can take it to the banking team so they can help Tesla raise more money and get those banking fees. Like, the entire equity research division of an investment bank is just a toy for the investment banking division to raise capital. It's a tool. Like, it's never good research. They're never trying to actually inform investors or the public. They all have a million ulterior motives. I never read analyst reports, and it's just really, really frustrating to see, the media say Tesla has reached peak deliveries in Q2. Everything's going to crumble to 60 or 70,000 cars. I talked to a lot of huge name short sellers whose name I'm not even allowed to say because they're so big. They were expecting 50, 60,000 deliveries this quarter. Tesla comes in at 97. I mean, this proves there is organic demand. This proves that Tesla, the Model 3, with the tax credit going away in the US or getting cut in half, still has demand, still has legs. I think this is a phenomenal quarter for Tesla.
Separately, if we just look at the fundamentals, which ultimately should be the most important, is the fact that they got a record. The 97, though, just to put that into context, that puts them loosely on track to hit the low end of a range of 360 to 400,000 vehicles for the year. But when they originally came out with that range, investors said it is near absurdity that they would do that, and they are tracking towards that low end. So I think that it is, despite the mix of the greater Model 3s, it's 82% Model 3s. It's generally consistent with the mix in the June quarter. So my simple read is I think that this is a sign that the demand question, this is no longer about a production question on Tesla, that the demand question continues to be answered, that it seems that the U.S., at least, and parts of Europe, are ready for EVs.
97,000, a record quarter for Tesla, more cars than they've ever sold. To me, this is by far the most important metric of the company. You can get lost in a million financial numbers, but how many cars they're selling, is that going up or down? Is that bigger than other auto OEMs? Is going to give you a great sense of how the business is doing. So Tesla has almost been, almost an exponential curve that you can see with Tesla's growth in vehicles delivered, going from a niche auto just selling 5 or 10,000, 50, 20,000 cars a year to now be selling 100,000 of cars per year, almost soon to cross the 500,000 car per year run rate. So literally this chart is showing that Tesla's rapidly becoming a global major auto OEM, over the past decade. So tremendous growth when you take a step back and look at this over time. Actually healthy place than ever. They're closer to profitability than ever. Now we have the China Gigafactory, which is rumored to be starting production here this month in October, which I think is going to be a catalyst for Q4. My numbers of 360,000 deliveries for the year could actually be a low ball because of this China factory coming online. And man, it's mind-boggling to see the disinformation that gets lost in the media that is obscuring what is the greatest growth story in American capitalism this century. I mean, we're seeing Tesla, since I followed this company in 2012, go from $200 million in revenue to almost $30 billion in revenue this year, and they're going to continue scaling.
It's the most crazy disinformation campaign I've ever seen.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Model 3, last 4 quarters is actually outselling all competitors combined in the U.S. So all of them. It's the highest revenue car in the U.S. and best-in-class performance. And it's actually the best-selling car by revenue including high-volume cars like the Toyota Camry and Honda Accord. So the dollar sales. Yeah, I think most people aren't aware of this, but we're about the 4th best-selling by numbers, but the highest selling by revenue over the past year of any car in the U.S. So that's remarkable that an electric vehicle is the best-selling, the highest revenue car in the country. I think 10 years ago, nobody would have believed it. And thanks to the hard work of the Tesla team, this is a result. It's great. And as I said, in class, the Model 3 is outselling the Mercedes C-Class, the BMW 3 Series, the Audi A4, S4, and the Lexus combined. That's in units. The difference is higher in dollars. So we also have the most energy efficient cars in the world. So this is the EPA miles per kilowatt hour, and you can see the Model 3 is at around 4, and then it ranges off to the right. I don't want to pick on the e-tron, but it's there's room for improvement. So it's worth noting that no electric car has exceeded the range of the first Model S that we came out with in 2012. So and yeah. Resisting the temptation to pick on competitors, I will not do that. But it's a testament to the Tesla engineering team to be able to have made a car 7 years ago that has still not been exceeded in range, and now to have a car that's 370 miles and with steady improvements that are likely to occur over the next few years. It won't be long before we have a 400-mile range car.
Dan's a professional pessimist, but if you actually talk to Chinese people, they're so bullish on Tesla. They love the car. They love Elon. The government has literally rolled out the red carpet for him. And with all the problems like companies like NIO is having in the Chinese economy, with the car companies slowing down, Tesla's the only car growth story in China. So the Chinese government is really happy with that, and production's going to start much sooner than people expect, and they're going to sell every car they make in China. It's a much less expensive car and a much cheaper car to produce with higher margins.